And we're live. Good morning, guys, everyone. Welcome to another Entrepreneurs Morning Vitamins where we share the value and boost the spirit of everyone. Earl Cox here, guys. Today's topic is going to be SMART Goals done by Miss Ann Williamson. But before I introduce Miss Ann Williamson to the panel, let me introduce my fellow partner here on the panel, Mr. Casper Aaron. Casper is out there in Estonia. Casper has been in the industry for the past 5 months. He's a dancer and a specialized in event marketing. Myself, like I tell you guys, Earl Cox, a U.S. veteran. I've been in the Navy for the last for 15 years. I'm full-time network marketer, full-time entrepreneur for the past 12 years. Two years full-time from home. Love what I do. I have the passion to helping everyone, around the world create financial freedom and working towards success. And last but not least, Miss Ann Williamson. She's a special guest, special speaker for this morning. Ann Williamson is from North Carolina. She's a wife, a mother of a beautiful daughter. She has been in the industry for the past 9 years. She's a certified paralegal, and she's also a co-owner with her husband in the traditional business. Before I bring Miss Ann on, Mr. Casper, you want to say good morning to everyone, to our listeners and viewers?
Yeah, sure. Good morning. Good morning to all of us listening. Us from America. Good afternoon from here. It's 4:30 p.m. in here, Europe, Estonia. I'm glad that you made it here. And I'm sure Anne's going to share some great value with us today. So stay tuned, listen up, and take your pen and paper and make some notes.
Awesome. Great. Miss Anne, the panel is all yours.
Okay. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this terrific Thursday. Winding down another, I guess, short week here for some of you out there that may work a corporate job or a 9-to-5. Had a short week this week with Memorial Day, so I thought I would talk about SMART goals and goal setting. We're winding down the month as well, and Monday rolls around, a brand new month. June 1st is on Monday, so I thought, well, it's a good topic to start looking at setting up your goals for the month, which everybody should be doing. I think, you should be setting goals with personal life, business life, all the way around. You should have goals that you're working towards daily. So we're going to talk a little bit about SMART goals, and ties into goal setting too. Why do we set goals? I think one of the reasons, or probably the biggest reason, is what it makes of us when we accomplish it. What it makes you is always of far greater value than what you get from it, whatever your goal is. Maybe your goal is to buy that brand new car. Well, what it's going to take for you to buy that brand new car is going to bring you a far greater value, I think, than that actual car. That's why they're very, very powerful, and they're part of what makes up our lives. And goal setting is where we create those goals. Goal setting provides focus. It shapes our dreams, and it gives us the ability to zero in on those actions that we need to take in order to get everything in life that we desire. So I'm going to talk about some SMART goals, but before I do, I want to touch on this too. Goals have to be inspiring, and they must be believable. They must be ones that you can act on. Those are the three components to a very powerful goal. When they inspire you, when you believe in them, and when you act on them is when you will get them done. So remember, they've got to inspire you. If you're not inspired by your goal, you're not going to work towards your goal. If you don't believe in it, you're not gonna do anything. So you're not going to act on it. So you won't accomplish it. They also provide long-term vision in our lives. And we all need lots of long-range goals to help us get past short-term obstacles. Life is designed in such a way that we look at long-term and live short-term. We dream for the future, but we live in the present. And, the present produces many obstacles. It's kind of, when you're on top of the mountain, you're really on top of the mountain. But when you're in the valleys, those are your obstacles. And the more powerful our goals, the more we'll be able to act on them in the short term and guarantee that we can accomplish them. So let's break our goals down into SMART goals. I like SMART goals. I like the way this is laid out, and it helps you kind of, when you're setting a goal, It helps you if you put it in kind of this outline and say, is it this, is it this, is it this? It's going to help you set an achievable goal. So the first component of a SMART goal is specific. SMART goals mean specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive. Okay, the first component is specific. Don't be vague. You know, exactly what do you want? For example, you know, I want to be out of debt within the next 12 months. So that's pretty specific. Out of debt means out of debt. If I added up, you know, all my debt, I'm just giving you guys an example, but say I added up all my debt and it was, I don't know, $10,000. And I said, okay, I want to pay off this $10,000 within a year. That's exactly what I want. So you've got to be specific. It's no place to waffle. You know, if your goals are ambiguous, they're going to produce ambiguous results. If they're incomplete, they're going to produce incomplete futures. When you're specific, it gives you the power of your dreams, and it sets forces into action that'll help you to achieve your goals. You know exactly what it is you're shooting for. There's no question. It helps us to establish our priorities and manage our times so that we can get that goal achieved. No wondering, no guessing. Okay, it's very specific, and that's powerful. They act as magnets. You know, when your goals are specific and they're concrete, they're going to act as magnets that draw you towards them. A SMART goal starts with being specific, and I gave you guys an example of that. The next component of a SMART goal is measurable. You know, you have to set goals that are measurable. You've got to know, you know, whether it's by the time you put into it, the money you put into it. You need to be able to see how you're going to measure up as you proceed through the journey of achieving this goal. You know, you have to be able to measure them. You want to take two as your, you know, maybe your goal, like I just used earlier, the 12-month goal. You want to, in the process, measure that, say maybe every, I don't know, maybe every 3 months, 4 times a year, stop and look and see how far you've come. If you've got $10,000 in debt, okay, in 3 months, maybe you paid off 1,000 of that. That kind of helps you reevaluate, to look at it and see, okay, I've got, you know, 9 more months to go, and I've got $9,000. What do I need to do to get the rest of that paid off? So you do want to measure them. The third component of a SMART goal is obtainable. You know, sometimes I've seen this a lot. Sometimes you set goals. We used to say, when I trained in other arenas, we used to say, make it a God-sized goal. And yeah, you want your goal to be God-sized. You want it to push you and drive you, but at the same time, you want it to be obtainable. You know, if I said, oh my God, I want to pay off all my debt, but I'm $50,000 in debt and I want to do that in a year, that's not obtainable. Not for me anyway, it wouldn't be. That's just not attainable. So you've got to make sure they're attainable. Don't set them so high that they're not. You know, it's important to set big goals, like I said, God-sized goals that will cause your heart to soar. But it's imperative that you make them attainable. You know, what does that mean? It's one that's realistic, and it's one that you can attain in a shorter period of time than what you have to work with. You know, I'm not saying it's easy. You know, your goals should make you stretch. They should stretch you, because remember in the beginning I said it's about who we become in the process, what it makes of you. And I've always said who you become in the process, it is greater than the value, whatever you're going to get from reaching your goal. Because it's going to shape you, and it's going to, if you set a right goal, if you do it right, it should shape you and it should stretch you. But yeah, it has to be obtainable. It's not going to, you know, you don't want it too easy. our goals should be set so that they're just out of our reach, like I just said, so they will challenge us and grow us as you work towards that. I'll give you an example of a goal in a minute of that one that's attainable and realistic. So the third component of a SMART goal is attainable. The fourth component is realistic. You know, the root word of realistic is real. So your goal has to be something that you can reasonably make real, or you know, it's a reality in our lives. Some goals are simply just not realistic, like the example I just gave you. You know, even if it's tremendously stretching, which it should be, that can be, you know, and it's entirely realistic, you can make it. You can make it. You just have to work around all these components. You know, you may even have to say, okay, it's going to take X, Y, Z, like I just gave you, for me to do that. And to make that happen, I need to do this, this, and this. So you're starting to break that big goal down into smaller goals at the same time. That can still be realistic. You know, it's up to each individual how much you're going to work on your goal, setting up your schedule, your timing, and everything. You know, be honest. You got to be honest with yourself when you're planning and setting a goal and evaluating. So, you know, maybe you need to. I've done this before. When we used to work in a team in my previous life, we'd get together and help each other with their goals, you know, and that would be somebody. Let me say this: when you work with somebody and you're setting goals and bouncing things off each other, make sure it's somebody that's a good friend that knows you, and make sure it's somebody that's an optimist and not a pessimist. Because, you know, you get around somebody who's negative and they're going to say, you'll never do that. Then you start believing that, and you start thinking that. And that can play on your mind. You know, what you think about, you bring about. I've always said that, And so make sure you've got somebody who's going to support your goals and say, oh, my God, yeah, you could do that. Let's look at how we're going to get it done. You know, something like that, a good friend. Let me give you some examples of attainable and realistic. Here's an example. Here we go with the weight examples. You're overweight and you have 150 pounds to lose to get to your proper weight. Is that goal obtainable? Well, yeah, it is. It's attainable. I've seen people lose 300 pounds over the last 2 years, so yeah, it's attainable. You know, considering that you make it realistic, for it's not realistic for you to think, oh, I'm going to do that in 5 months. I'll have that knocked out in 5 months. That's not too realistic. 18 to 24 months, maybe. That's a little bit more realistic. With some hard work, it's going to take you working. Remember I said goals should push you and challenge you. But that's obtainable and that's realistic. So losing 150 pounds in 2 years is, or, you know, year and a half, that's both obtainable and realistic, while losing 150 pounds in 5 months is more likely neither obtainable or realistic. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope so. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense, Ann.
Does it? Okay. Okay. And the last component of a SMART goal is time. You got to have a time frame attached to it. I've been involved in things where we were going for really, really, really big goals, and we had 4 months to accomplish these goals. And so I knew, okay, I've got 4 months to do this. If you're a procrastinator, I saw so many people who'd be like, oh, I've got 4 months. I'm not even going to work on it this month. And all of a sudden, that 3rd month would be here, and you had a lot of catching up to do. And I would tell people going for this same goal that I had gone for and accomplished that you can't wait. You can't just sit back and wait. You've got to get started now because you've only got 4 months to get this done. And that was a standard goal in a company I was previously with. And it was a big goal when you were going for that, and you had 4 months to do it. So you've got to have a time frame attached to it. You know, some people say, well, one day I'll get out of debt. One day I'll pay these bills off. What's one day? You know, you've got to set an ending time when you're going to accomplish that. And even if you don't accomplish that within that time frame, it's okay. Let me say that before I go into time a little bit more. Let me say that it's okay. You know, you're that much further along than you were before, and you don't change the goal, you just change the time. The first time that I went for this particular goal I was referring to earlier, it was a big position in the company that I was in, and the first time I knew I had 4 months, and I speak from experience when I say don't procrastinate. I was one of those, I was on vacation at the beach, and I thought, I've got 4 months on this. I did not hit my goal. I waffled on it. I did. And I did not hit my goal. The second time, I said, I'm not going through this again. I'm getting this done. And I focused myself and got it done. In fact, I got it done a month early. I got it done in 3 months instead of 4 months. So, you know, the first time I said, okay, in 6 more months, I'll put in, I forget what they called it, my application to apply for this position, so to speak. It wasn't really an application like a job, but my intention to apply to be able to be in this top 2% of this particular company. And all I did was change the time frame. I didn't change the goal. My goal was still to obtain that position. All I did was just had to change the time frame. So you don't change the goal, you just change the time frame, you know. Like I said, it has to have a time frame connected to it. You know, could you imagine how much procrastination we'd have on Earth if people never died? That was a question I found kind of funny in my reading. I was like, wow, we would never get around to it. We'd always put it off. Not that you know, that's part of life. We live and we die. But just think if people never died, we'd always put it off, you know. One of the most powerful aspects of a great goal and a smart goal is it has an end, a time in which you're going to accomplish it. And you start working on it because you know there's an end. You know, if somebody said, you've got 30 days to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to give you $5,000. How many of you would bust your tail, do whatever it took to accomplish X, Y, and Z in those 30 days?
I would.
Yeah, me too. Exactly, me too. You know, you're going to do what it takes. So you start working on it right away. Don't do like I did the first time around and thought, oh, I got all this time. I did procrastinate, and it taught me a valuable lesson. So as time goes by, you're working because you don't want to get behind. And as your deadline approaches, you're working diligently, more diligently. And sometimes even when you look at it, you have to break down this big goal into different measured parts of time frames. I knew what I had to do at the end of these 4 months. I knew where my numbers had to be. I knew what it took each month, what I had to do to bring in to hit those numbers. I knew how many people I needed to build my team to. I knew everything. So I took that and broke it down into those 4 months. And to be honest, I said, I don't want to go into that 4th month because that 4th month was really a cushion month, but it could change things because in this particular organization, after 3 months, people would fall out. So you wanted to get it done in 3 months, really. And I knew I needed to produce this much each month. I needed to talk to this many people each month. My work schedule needed to be a little different. I needed to work a lot more. And, you know, I had written on my bathroom mirror, because this helped me those days when I didn't feel like, oh my God, I just don't feel like calling these people. We all have them. I just don't feel like working towards this today. But every time I wrote on my mirror to keep me motivated, short-term sacrifice, long-term gain. Short-term sacrifice equals long-term gain. And I saw that. So when I didn't want to work towards my goal, that helped push me. Because it's very easy to just blow it off sometimes. It is. We've all done it, I'm sure. So break those big goals down, especially when you're looking at it on the front end like I thought, oh my God, I got to be at this place and this place and this place. How do I get there? That's where you break things down into the smaller goals. Set them and work them out in your time frame. So, you know, a SMART goal has a timeline. That's the T in SMART. It has a timeline. So, you know, when you're looking at setting your goals for the month, if you can look at putting them around this model, you're going to have, you know, a goal that's specific. You're going to have a goal that's measurable. You're going to have one that's obtainable and realistic, and it has a time frame. And that may be a 30-day time frame if you're setting a goal for a month. You know, the example of getting out of debt that I used, that is a bigger time frame, but maybe you want to be at a certain place in your business by the end of June. Maybe you want to have shared your opportunity, your products with X amount of people by the end of June, but you work a full-time job. Okay, look at it, say I want to share my opportunity with 50 people by the end of June. I've got 30 days, let's go higher, 100 people. I work full-time, I only have 5 hours a week to work my business. Or, you know, I have 6 kids. I only have 3 hours a week to work my business. Whatever that is, fit that time frame into how many people do you need to talk to each week to be able to share your opportunity with 100 people by the end of the month, or your products by the end of the month. Break that down, like we said, you know, set smaller, you know, I need to talk to 20 people, 25 people every week. 5 people, 5 days a week. You know, break it down, or if you've only got 2 days, 10.2 people, those 2 days a week. And as you start working towards your goal and you start accomplishing these things, it's going to keep you motivated. You're going to really feel good about yourself. You're going to think, I can do this, I can do this. You know, it's going to push you as you start knocking off those, I say, sub-goals or smaller goals to help you get to the bigger goal. It's going to push you and it's going to keep you motivated. And like I said earlier, guys, even if you don't obtain it, it's okay. It is okay. You're that much further along than you were when you started. So you got to look at that. Celebrate what you've accomplished. Don't, you know, you might have a pity party for 2 minutes, whatever, but celebrate your accomplishments. Celebrate how much further along you are. And you are, and you just reset the time frame. Don't change it. So, you know, like I said, when you're sitting down and reflecting on June or maybe the next 6 months of the year and where you want to be by the end of the year, if you can put your goals into this kind of structure, this kind of you know, outline, you're going to have great goals, and I can just see you all accomplishing them. So that was my topic, girl. I hope you guys got some value of it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
That was awesome, and that was great. That was some great pointers you just gave us. Setting your goals, that's very important. And what I really caught from you guys, what Ann just shared, is just that if you guys notice, when we tend to set goals, we tend to pretty much go after them. If we, like, say, example, Ann write her goals on a mirror, I do the same thing. But guess what? By seeing your goals, you know what you have to do. You know what you have to do to get there. If you don't write your stuff down, guess what will happen? It's never going to accomplish. Just like you setting an appointment. You know, you have a doctor's appointment. Guess what? You're going to make sure you're there, right, at that time. Same with your goals. You set your goals, you write it down, you're going to make sure you get there. You know, if someone have an appointment and they don't write it down, they're going to forget it. You know, they tend not to remember their appointment. So by you setting that, writing it in stone, writing it down where you see it every day, you know, and being specific, you know, when you want to accomplish it, you know, it's going to happen. But if you don't write it stuff down, if you don't have a plan, a game plan, on when you want to get to your goals or what you want to accomplish, you're never going to accomplish it by you just saying, hey, I want to buy this house, I want to buy this, I want to buy this car. But if you don't have a goal of what exactly, be specific when you want it, what you want, what time you want, and when you're going to have it. Be specific in your goals. You know, and as Ann said also, you could always change you don't change your goal, you also adjust it, adjust your goals. Yeah, you may set a time frame, and guess what, by that time you didn't actually achieve what you set out to do, but guess what? You're still on the path. You're still on the way to it. You know, you may not get the full potential of your goal, but you're still getting there. You're still working towards it, so you can still adjust it. If I say, like, in 3 months, I want to make probably 3 months, I want to actually buy a brand new car. Probably at the time the 3 months come around, I didn't actually be able to buy the car that I want, but I could adjust the time. You know, hey, I need 2 more weeks to get there. You know, so basically that's what it is, guys. You have to set your goals, but you can also adjust them. Don't change your goals now. Don't change them. Adjust them.
That's right, Earl. You know, another good thing too that has helped too. Goal posters. You know, goal posters. Those visuals. When I was going for that big goal, I had index cards with teeny pictures of what I wanted, and I hung them over my visor in my car, so that at every day, even those days I didn't feel, especially those days I didn't feel like doing what I had to do, I would look at that visual, and I thought, okay, I'm doing this to get from here to there, here to there, here to there, and so goal posters are good. I saw somebody on Facebook recently that had pieces of paper all across their desk, taped up across their desk, and it was X amount this day, X amount this day, and I thought that's a great thing to shoot for every day. That was that person's goals. So you're right about the visuals.
Awesome. Mr. Casper?
Yeah, I really loved it. I loved what you talked, Dan, because I think this is so powerful topic that so many of us just misunderstand or underestimate. But because setting goals and setting your goals the smart way, like you just broke it down today, this is so powerful, and I couldn't agree more with Earl that if you have a goal and this is so important to have a time frame to it, because right this in this EMV today, when I was listening to Anne, I was thinking to myself about my goals, and I have some goals that I have like timed, and I have some goals that I have been timing in my life before, and I was thinking all of the goals that I put time frame to it, I achieved them. Some of them I achieved them even earlier, but some of them I achieved a little later, but I achieved them, and I have my goals written down right now too, but some of my goals, they don't have a time frame. They don't have a date to it. Like I will achieve it. I will achieve it at my birthday, 22nd of June this summer. I don't have that goals, and I was thinking why I'm not like going closer to my goals or not achieving them. But because some of my goals have been on the paper for a long time, but I haven't put a date to it, because it's actually so great that we have this entrepreneur morning vitamins, because if we are persons of value, we actually know that. We know what are smart goals and what is goal setting and visualizing, but this is why motivation is so important. It's like taking a shower. It wears off. That's why we recommend it to do it over and over. And thank you, Anne, for bringing up this topic. And I don't know if you can see it, but I'm actually so happy that I'm on EMV today, and you brought this topic, because it brought me something that I gotta do and I gotta get done. And guys, just watch.
Exactly. Thank you, Casper. You'll do it too. You know, sometimes by not setting time frames, and I've done this too, I think it lets us off the hook. We let ourselves off the hook and say, "Oh, we'll get it done."
Yeah, because
we don't want to tackle it.
Yeah, it just sends out a message to the universe that we're not 100% committed, because we say we want to do it, but it's like saying that, yeah, I'm gonna take the trash out, but I'm gonna take it out later. Not now. Yeah, honey, I'm gonna take it out, but not now. That's exactly what is setting goals with times. And if you don't put a time, you're just saying, yeah, I'm gonna do it someday.
Exactly.
But someday will turn to nothing.
Oh, that's awesome. But anyway, guys, it's 10 a.m. Miss Jennifer, you there? Thanks for joining us this short minute. But you could go ahead and come up and say morning to everyone. And just give us a quick, give us some quick words on what you think about your goal set. I know you didn't actually hear what the full presentation and give, but just give us something short and sweet on goal settings. What it means to you.
Good morning, Ann and Casper and Earl. and everyone. Quickly, Ann, I just wanted to say, honey, you hit a home run on this one, honey bun. I totally agree with that reset button. You know, that reset button. All of us, and I don't think anybody on here, none of us are perfect. We're all flawed, but the beauty, every day we get up, we get another chance to get it right. So even if, just like Earl said, even when we do not accomplish our goal in the time frame that we set, that doesn't mean that we quit or we stop. That means we just what? Push the reset button. And it's just that's that drive and for us not to give up. And also, in what you were saying about the vision boards. I have a vision board. I know Earl has one. Casper, I'm not sure if you have one. If you don't, get one today. You know, and right. The visual means everything. I don't care if you're looking through a magazine and you're like, oh my gosh, that house is so pretty. Cut it out. Put it on the vision board. Or, you know, it could be anything. If you're single and you want to be married, cut out a wedding cake or an engagement ring. It's not saying that it's not happening right now, but that's what you want for your life. Exactly. And when you keep seeing that, because, you know, we'll go day to day, you know, life will take over and we'll get sidetracked. We all do. But we got to come back in, look at our vision board. Even you can take stuff off the vision board and add stuff to the vision board. You know, it's one of those cork kind of things. You put the little pins in, and you can put notes to yourself. And I want to tell you real quickly, guys, as far as a list. I have a list every day. And I'm going to tell you, my list is my boss. My list is my boss. Meaning that when I go to bed at night, I already have an agenda for the next day. I use Evernote. You can use whatever you want, but I use Evernote, but I also like to write stuff down because I love the feeling of crossing down each task that I've completed that day. And whatever, I'm old school. I like the pencil on the paper. Me
too, yes.
And it's a sense, and I love what you said about accomplishment. We have to acknowledge our own individual accomplishments. I don't care how little it is, because if we don't reward ourselves, if we don't say, great job, Ian, great job, Earl, great job, Casper, you know, great job, Jennifer, if we don't acknowledge our worth and say, you know, great job to ourselves, we're not going to feel worthy, and people can feed off of our energy, believe it or not. So if you don't believe in yourself, someone else is not going to believe in you. So that's all I wanted to say, guys. Reset button, excellent, Ian. Vision boards, guys, it's a must. A list, an everyday list. You may have one thing on the list to do, but just do it. Cross it out. But whatever it is, and if you don't complete it, roll it over to the next day. But just keep it on the list until you complete it or amend it or whatever. I'm looking at my vision board right now, guys, and I'm like, But, you know, everybody's list should be your boss. If we're working for ourselves, our list should be our boss. So when you follow your list and you achieve those tasks during each and every day, you will accomplish and you will win. So did I do okay, Earl? I know I'm long-winded, so.
Yeah, you're okay. You did all right. You did okay, guys. But anyway, guys, we went 4 minutes past 10, but that's okay. But first I want to say thank you very much, Miss Ann, for bringing this topic on. It was powerful. You know, you shared some great value. I hope everyone wrote the information down. You know, take notes and, you know, put it to use, guys. Put what we just shared with you into use to helping you, you know, towards success. But anyway, guys, to put an end to this call, I want to leave this with you. If you're doing business online, guys, if you're doing business online, there are certain tools that you need to have in place to be successful, to build a successful business online, no matter what business you're doing, right? The first thing you'll need a domain name to brand yourself, okay? You're going to need some type of capture system, capture page, where you can actually capture your customers, your clients' information. You need a landing page. Say you have a product or a service that you're offering, a landing page where they're going to actually go and review that information once they actually enter the name and email address. And you also need an autoresponder system in place to build that relationship with your clients, your customers, even your prospects. Something in place that's going to actually automatically do follow-ups for you, because we do business around the world, not only in the US or whatever country you're in. When you're online, you do business worldwide, so a lot of people from all over the world could actually be in touch with you. You know, guys, so for you to build a relationship, a long-term relationship, you need those systems in place. You need to have a system in place. You know, you're building business online, you want to automate it because you want to spend time. Remember, you're doing business to actually for financial freedom for you to actually do what you do with your family. So by you having a system in place to build a successful business, that's very important. So if you don't have these tools that I just mentioned, you feel free to reach out to myself, Mr. Casper Aaron, Ms. Jennifer Banage, and Ms. Ann Williamson, or myself, Earl Cox, and we'll actually be able to guide you in the right place, and I'll provide you with those tools if you don't have them, and show you exactly how you can get these tools and save you in the long run. So once again, Earl Cox, Casper Aaron, and Ms. Jennifer Banage, and Ms. Ann Williamson. I still can't get your pronouncing name right, Jennifer, but forgive me. But once again, thank you for all our viewers. I appreciate you guys taking the time off to join us here on this morning Entrepreneurs Morning Vitamins. See you guys tomorrow for yet another EMV event. We're going to be going over the FAQ, all the topics we had for the week. So I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy your Thursdays. Earl Cox, Jennifer Banage, Ms. Ann Williamson, Mr. Casper Aaron, checking out. Have a blessed day, guys.
Take care.
Take care, guys.